Welcome to today's Explainer. We've got a fantastic one for you today. We're going to dive into a massive physics-based thought experiment that will completely change how you look at a seemingly ordinary everyday object. We're taking something you'd find at your local bowling alley, dropping it into the deepest part of the world's oceans, and uncovering some seriously incredible science along the way. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The Mariana Trench Mystery. Okay, let's literally dive right into this and set the stage for our deep-sea hypothetical.
This whole explainer actually comes from a question posed by a deeply curious guy named Doug. He asked, if you were in a boat directly over the Mariana Trench and dropped a 7-kilogram bowling ball over the side, how long would it take to hit bottom? It's such a fun premise, right? But there is one very specific detail in Doug's question that totally flips our everyday understanding of physics right on its head.
Section 2. The buoyancy surprise. You see, Doug was super smart to specify the exact mass of the bowling ball. That's 7 kilograms. Because that leads us right to a crazy scientific fact about volume, mass, and how buoyancy actually works. Ready for a twist? Most bowling balls do not actually sink.
Here's exactly why that happens. Every single standard bowling ball has the exact same volume. They are all the same size. So because of this, if you drop one into the ocean, it's always going to displace the exact same amount of seawater. Specifically, it pushes out 12.13 pounds, or about 5.5 kilograms of water. But here's the catch. The weights of the balls themselves are totally different depending on which one you grab. If you go to a local alley, the average ball sitting on the rack actually only weighs around 10.5 pounds. And since that 10.5-pound ball weighs less than the 12.13 pounds of water it displaces, it literally cannot sink. It'll just naturally bob right there on the ocean's surface.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it shows how buoyancy is basically a massive tug-of-war. It's a battle between the downward force of an object's mass and the upward force of the displaced fluid. Look at the threshold here. If the ball is under 12.13 pounds, the upward force wins and it floats. If it's over 12.13 pounds, gravity takes over and it sinks. Only the heavy balls, the ones usually thrown by serious professional bowlers, actually pack enough mass to cross that threshold and sink into the deep.
Which means, if you think about it, that famous idiom, "it sank like a bowling ball," is completely scientifically inaccurate for the average person. If you bowl casually with a lighter ball, your bowling ball actually makes a way better life raft than an anchor.
Section 3. Physics of sinking. Let's shift our focus back to Doug's specific scenario. He wasn't dropping an average ball. He specifically asked about a 7-kilogram, or 15.5-pound, heavy ball. That one definitely crosses our mass threshold and is absolutely guaranteed to sink.
So, how do we calculate exactly how fast this heavier ball falls through the crushing ocean depths? We have to look at terminal sinking velocity. This speed is all about a fascinating tug-of-war between two main forces. First, you have the object's apparent weight. That's its actual physical weight pulling it down minus the upward and buoyant lift of the water. Pushing back against this downward drop is the drag equation, literally the resistance of the water molecules smashing against the surface area of the ball. When the downward force of the apparent weight exactly matches the upward resistance from the drag, boom, the ball stops accelerating and just sinks at a constant maximum speed.
And when we plug Doug's 7-kilogram bowling ball into those exact equations, balancing its heavier mass against the drag and buoyancy of the seawater, we get a terminal velocity of roughly 1.3 meters per second. Because of its higher mass, it cuts through the deep water currents with incredible stability, maintaining that steady speed as it plummets straight down.
But we really need to put this into perspective. We are talking about the Mariana Trench here. This isn't the deep end of your local swimming pool. It is a staggering 11 kilometers deep. Even traveling at a fairly brisk, perfectly stable sinking speed of 1.3 meters per second, it is still going to take this heavy ball roughly 2 hours and 20 minutes of continuous pitch-black falling to finally smack into the ocean floor.
So the crucial point here is how a ball's mass totally dramatically alters this timeline. Let's say we drop a 13-pound bowling ball instead. That is just slightly over our 12.13-pound floating threshold, right? That makes it incredibly close to what we call neutrally buoyant. Because its apparent weight in the water is so weak, the drag forces counter it way more easily, meaning it's less stable against currents and has a much slower terminal velocity. That 13-pound ball, it would take over 4.5 hours to reach the bottom.
Section 4. The materials race.
This kind of gets you thinking, doesn't it? If adding a little mass speeds up the sinking process, what happens if we totally push the limits of physics? Let's take this thought experiment to a progressively absurd level by changing the material of the ball entirely, but keeping its exact volume the same.
And this brilliantly illustrates the math. Imagine hypothetically solid bowling balls. Because the volume is identical for all of them, the water resistance, the drag, remains exactly the same. But the massive increase in apparent weight from these dense metals overpowers that drag almost instantly. A solid iron ball would plummet to the trench floor in just 30 minutes. Lead does it in 24 minutes. And a solid gold bowling ball, just 18 minutes to hit the absolute bottom of the world.
Actually, quick side note, a solid gold bowling ball of that size would be so intensely heavy it would literally weigh more than the bowler trying to throw it. Plus, at today's market values, it would cost well over $10 million. So yeah, throwing it overboard into an 11-kilometer ocean abyss is probably the worst financial decision you could ever make. But if we want to reach the absolute extreme end of the physics scale, we have to look at osmium. It's the heaviest naturally occurring element on Earth. A standard-sized osmium bowling ball would weigh over 250 pounds. This absolute maximum mass creates the fastest, most fiercely stable sinking velocity possible against ocean water drag. It would punch through the deep sea currents and hit the floor of the Mariana Trench in a mere 16 minutes.
Section 5. Ocean Journey of Floating Balls. Okay, let's move on and see how this builds, bringing it all the way back up to the surface, back to that average 10.5-pound ball we started with. We already established it doesn't sink, so what actually happens to it? Because of its much lighter mass, it is entirely at the mercy of the ocean's surface currents.
To figure out where our floating bowling ball ends up, we don't even have to guess. We can use this fascinating scientific modeling tool called plastic adrift. Scientists normally use this to map exactly how floating plastics are swept up and carried away by global surface currents. And it turns out it works perfectly for calculating the specific path of our highly buoyant bowling ball, too.
So, dropped from a boat directly over the Mariana Trench, the ball embarks on this epic, multi-year trans-Pacific journey. According to the tracking data, over the first month it would drift west past the Philippines. By year 1, it's getting carried north along the coast of China before taking a sharp right turn near Japan to head out across the massive expanse of the open Pacific Ocean. Fast forward 3.5 years after Doug initially dropped it, and our average bowling ball finally approaches the sunny coast of California.
Once it arrives off the Californian coast, after that unbelievable 3.5-year drift, its destiny basically comes down to 3 potential outcomes. It might safely follow the coastline for a bit. It could tragically get swept out into the massive swirling vortex of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, or, with just the right combination of winds and tides, it might wash directly ashore onto a local beach.
Which sets up a brilliantly hilarious possibility. Imagine if, during those 3.5 years, Doug sailed his boat from the Mariana Islands all the way to Los Angeles. He finds a quiet, sheltered beach cove and meticulously sets up 10 carefully weighted bowling pins just below the water's surface. If the currents perfectly deliver that floating 10.5-pound ball onto that exact beach, Doug could achieve the single most improbable strike of all time. You see, physics doesn't just dictate what sinks and what floats. It maps out how perfectly interconnected our global oceans truly are. So it really leaves you wondering, the next time you drop an everyday object into the ocean, is it really gone forever, or has it just started a 10,000-mile journey?